Okay, so I'm doing my self-evaluation for my interview for that I conducted with my roommate Courtney. Her significant object was a Fitbit. I'm gonna start off with the positives. I feel like I improved with asking leading questions, or follow-up questions. Another positive was that I feel like I asked a lot of good questions that related to her object. And a third was that um, I also got her feedback after the interview, and she liked how I used her past answers um, as a way of formulating new answers. So I'd be like, earlier you said that, blah, 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 blah. How do you feel? Blah, 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 blah. And that's something I was very proud of. Through my cons, to be honest, I felt like this was this wasn't as good of an interview as my past interviews, or I felt like it wasn't as good as it could have been, and it was partially because um, prior to making this video, I reviewed my grade for my interview number 3 and the comments that were made on it, which were very helpful comments that helped me to kind of improve on this interview. But I kind of have a hard time with a lot of constructive criticism, especially if it's not worded carefully or like encouraging enough for me to feel like good about changing some of my styles. And also I felt a little bit more better with interview number 3, which is why I was so taken back by the comments, but that's probably just me. So I felt like this interview was kind of off in some way. So I guess that can be a con, that I felt like it was off, or if you need another con, it would be um, that I found it hard to take notes during the session, probably because it was face to face and not just over a computer screen. I felt a lot more pressure. I did feel a lot more pressure because it was somebody who I don't have a romantic relationship with, don't have a whatever the restrictions are for this assignment. But because she is my roommate and we've known each other for a while, I feel like it was harder to conduct the interview. And I'm more comfortable with conducting interviews with strangers because like I don't feel pressured or anything like that to perform a certain way. Another thing was that in one of my questions, I think it was the question where I had asked, um, describe other efforts you and your significant other uses or does to continue to have a healthy lifestyle. I automatically assumed that, well, I didn't really assume, I just knew that her boyfriend was active or very into the health journey and like fitness and stuff like that. And I feel like in that question, I used my prior knowledge of him to formulate like kind of like a question that assumes that he is fit or that he does enjoy doing or participating in a healthy lifestyle. Like if I were to be in a situation where I didn't know the person that I was interviewing, that would be um, bad to have assumed that, just because, you know, her boyfriend could have potential, if I didn't know him, could have potentially not been fit at all, or of that lifestyle. So yeah, I think that's 3. Also, during the video, you'll see that we both kind of paused, and it was because my computer had a technical difficulty, and we didn't know if the camera was still rolling. And my interviewee actually, or Courtney, reminded me of that. She said, "Oh, I think that your computer turned off." So yeah, we paused for a little while to see if the camera was still rolling, and the camera was still rolling. So we continued after that. I feel like that pause was a little bit awkward only for me, because I don't know if like that technical difficulty was going to make my points go lower. But yeah, those are my pros and cons.